Good evening and welcome to today's weather update. Just going to look at the current conditions as of 6:50 Central Standard Time. So that is half an hour earlier for later for Queensland and an hour and a half later for New South Wales time zones. So you can see on the satellite and radar here that we've got a nice big low. It's only weak, but there's a low over here in WA. That's causing a few storms to fire up along the inland areas. And if we just up the lightning here, you can see that the some of these storms are quite active, lightning active here. There's been fairly decent rainfall from some of these for over there, so it's not a bad little low, and you've got some storms in inland over here, some in the Kimberley, some across top end of Northern Territory here, and a few showers down in Tasmania there. Now, for the most part, the rest of the country is mostly dry, so that's a bit of a relief from the last few days of big storms, especially in southeast Queensland area. Now we're just going to turn off the radar and everything and quickly swap to observations. So here's the current temperature observations for across the country. So you got high 20s to low 30s in Darwin, low 20s over the Brisbane area, low 20s to the high teens over the Sydney area. Melbourne is mid-teens or low double digits for some of the areas around there. Same with Hobart, low double digits there. Adelaide, we've got the mid to high teens. And over in the Western Australia in Perth, low 20s for temperatures. So here's the dew point. So a lot of areas are quite dry at the moment, except for the far north. And even over in the WA here, got some decent dew points for those over there. See, 17, 18 is quite high for the Western Australian southwest there. And we have 25, 24 up in the north. Along there is everything like that. So here's the rainfall total since this morning at 9 a.m. So a few spots of decent rain in WA. I've got 27 there, 20 there, so that's not so bad. Wind gusts, not too bad over WA, even though that low is there. Nothing too dramatic. But down here in Tasmania, we've seen gusts of 76, 80, 87. So quite windy down there at the moment. Okay, moving on to the forecast aspect of the video. And we're just going to look at the thunderstorm outlook to begin with. So this is as of midnight tonight. And it's showing as that low that is approximately here at the moment moves east. The line of severe weather, so the heightened risk of thunderstorms, moves east with it. So as you can see, each frame we go through, it progresses east, with the red area showing possibly severe thunderstorms. So we'll just keep tracking on. And yeah, as you can see, that pushes further east once it loads up each frame. Now, the areas of Adelaide and South Australia, Eastern South Australia, and Victoria will likely not see the worst of some of the weather, but as we progress on, we see there is a bit of a heightened period of activity for the eastern half of New South Wales here. That includes Sydney, Wollongong, Canberra, Newcastle as well. As we progress to each frame, this is on the weekend. So this is Saturday early morning. So the risk is there for most of the day of some sort of thunderstorm activity. As usual, not everywhere will get it, but this is just a general potential look. The modeling is really slow to load. I'm not sure why, but anyhow. So yeah, you can see that as we track along, that also moves off the east coast as well as we get into Sunday. There could be some thunderstorm activity in the southeast Queensland area, but nothing like what we see in the last couple of weekends. It would be marginal at best. So yeah, it could produce a few severe thunderstorms, low-end severe thunderstorms, but it shouldn't produce anything like we saw. Now we're moving into the expected rainfall. So we should see some rain across the inland and southern areas of WA here. Most of this will be storm activity. Same with across South Australia. Victoria should see a bit of rain associated with a cold front coming through in the next day or so. So that should pass through the region over Friday. We have some increased rainfall across the central coast of Queensland. And we also have an increase in rainfall over the Kimberley district of WA and the western top end of Northern Territory. This will all be, most of this up there will be in the form of thunderstorms. So there's potential for some Gulf lines to come across the northern top end. And we have some onshore winds, showers across the far north Queensland area. Weipa and the Cape will see some storm activity, all pretty standard for the time of year. And before anyone's like, what about Tasmania? I just couldn't fit everything on there, so we're going to go to Tassie all by itself. And for Tasmania, the cold front should produce some decent rain across the western half. That should spread east across the eastern just to a lesser degree, where we've got 100 mil forecast for some of the areas in the western half of the island state down there. Now that's about it for today. Just a short update video this time, but I will do a bit of a longer one next time. Thanks for watching as usual, and keep an eye on the page for any updates as in between the videos.